In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware our power, Green Lantern's light. Welcome back. Once again, it is time for the Golden... Let's try that again. Welcome back. Once again, it is time for the Golden Age of DC Comics, 365 days, where we're taking this much-loved hardcover coffee table book given to us about 2 decades ago by one of our best friends. This has been surfing our coffee table ever since and has been a constant source of comic book shop style conversations, the kind we wish to recreate today, right here, right now, with each other at this wonderful coffee table. So pull up a chair, bring a cup of whatever you want. Everyone's welcome at the coffee table. Yeah. Slancha. Let me wet my whistle. We're going to do some talking about comic books. That's right. We're using this book, this 2004 Abrams publication, curated and written by Les Daniels and Chip Kidd, photographed by Geoff Spear. There is a link in the description to its Amazon page where you may purchase your own copy. You can play along at home. It will look great on your coffee table too, I swear. And it makes a great gift for a geek. No. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are taking this book, this hardcover coffee table book, for its intended purpose of 365 days book. We're going to open up to today's date, which is January the 7th. We are going to look at some comic book art of an antediluvian age. We are going to read the blurb, and then we're going to talk about comic books. And we're going to talk about comic books, you guessed it, every day for the rest of the year. That's right. Thank you so very much for tuning in. We are doing what's called a January redo. I started this show a year ago. And let me tell you that I feel that the show's gotten bigger and better and stronger every day with every step. We've proven that we can talk about comic books every day in a year and even more. And we're just gonna say we're gonna talk about comic books once a day, every day. And so I love this conversation that we're having. Seeing you in the live chat at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern when upon premiere is always a treat. When I'm able to make the premiere of our own show, I will be there, and it's so good to see the familiar faces and enjoying this comic book shop style conversation. Also in the comments too. Keep them coming. You know, we take questions. Leave a suggestion, perhaps. Heck, I mean, this is our comic book show. Welcome to the coffee table, indeed. So let's do it. Yeah, so I call this the January redo. So on this date last year, we made a 7-minute and 27 second long video, which would be the longest video I made that first week, and it got 6 views. It's not a comparison. But it's not about a fair or unfair comparison. It's about tracking the growth. And I know darn well that we can do so much better today. So I'm thinking about, we're still going to do the rebag, reboard, rebox show. I'm actually we got a couple of its working parts, and we're going to show you how it fits into the show today. And continue that comic book shop style conversation. Indeed. So yeah, we're going to revisit January, maybe a little bit of February too. I mean, seriously, I won't do the entire, we're going to ditch the book shortly. We are committed, the production team from our studios here in Boston, we are committed to making fun, to having fun, to, we make fun of everything, but to having fun and to reminding ourselves daily about why we got into loving comic books in the first place. That's the love and the fun, and let's embrace those things just for a couple of minutes in a day. Why don't we? Great. So let's do it. I hope that you are clobbering your problems and not, you guessed it, being clobbered by them. Over and out. Let's see. Green Lantern Man. That's what he's known as, right? Green Lantern Man? We'll find out. Was he ever supposed to be Green Lantern Man? Premiering in All American Comics, issue number 16, July of 1940. And this is story and art by Bill Finger of Batman fame. You know him. Art by Martin Nodell from All American Comics, issue number 18, September of 1940. Today is January the 7th. Yes. The block of text in this splash panel offers a capsule origin of the Green Lantern. But the background may be a bit more baffling, at least for today's readers. It appears that Green Lantern is hovering over a city of the future. And in one aspect, that's true. This is an aerial view of the 1939 New York World's Fair. The geometric structures behind him are the Triton and the Perisphere, symbols of a tomorrow that was postponed by an interruption called World War II. The fair was so successful that DC launched New York World's Fair Comics, which eventually evolved into the long-running World's Finest Comics. That's right. But here, let's take a look. This is the third issue that Green Lantern does appear in. And here are those structures. There's the New York 1939 World's Fair. There you go. Isn't that interesting, huh? Nothing looked like that at the time. There's Green Lantern in flight. There's what appears to be perhaps a repulsive green ray emanating from his ring, giving him the ability of flight. Let's read this. When Alan Scott, a young engineer, becomes owner of a Green Lantern of mysterious origin, he is told that a ring fashioned from its metal will give him supernatural powers if it is touched to the Green Lantern once in 24 hours. This strange force is based on Alan Scott's own willpower, and Scott decides to make use of his mysterious supernatural powers to become a scourge to all evildoers. He becomes known, in fact, as the Green Lantern. Dun, dun, dun. I don't think he got any movie treatments, or he didn't get, Captain Marvel got a movie, Batman got a serial of movies, Superman had a movie, and an animated, and a daily newspaper strip to boot. But that's okay. Green Lantern earned his and their success along the way. Seriously. Among the visitors to the World's Fair in its second year is Alan Scott. I've been walking around all day, I think. It's time to hit a restaurant, or, hopefully, I'm a chef. I want to sell you some food. As he sits in a fair cafe called the Condo, he suddenly sees, we can see that it cuts off right there. Remember, these aren't actual pages, or, these are photographs of the pages. So they're emphasizing an aspect. They're not, giving you the entire story. They're not supposed to. And that's not the point. We're not reading a trade paperback or we're reading this is about publications, and it's about art, and it's about history, but it also is about these superheroes, this new American mythology that began with Action Comics #1 in 1938. It's true. And let's see, how are we gonna? We're gonna read this from the wiki, aren't we? We're gonna read from the wiki. That's right. Alrighty. In 1959, Julia Schwartz, remember winding Julie's wristwatch from yesterday? That's gonna come into play today. I have a wristwatch. I can tell time. You can too. If you put on those notifications, you will figure out that it's 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern every day. If you turn on those notifications, you will eventually learn to tell time. Indeed, Julia Schwartz. Julie Schwartz, yeah, winding Julie's wristwatch, and that was I would call that, because you used to be able to have to wind a clock or a watch in order for it to properly tell time, like this Green Lantern ring, okay, pretend this is green. You would do the oath. You would hold the ring to the lantern. You know what I mean? I should be using the Blue Lantern ring. They have their own oath, and we haven't gotten to the Spectrum yet. We're talking about the Silver Age right now, but also winding Julius Schwartz. In 1959, he reinvented the Green Lantern character as a science fiction hero named Hal Jordan. All right, and that was just that. This is history. This is where we've gone on since then. But winding a watch or winding your clock was like a once-a-day thing. And so would be the 24-hour charge of a Green Lantern ring to its battery. I just thought of that for the first time. You probably already thought of that. I'm sorry. I might be bright, but I'm also a little dense, Let's keep going. But Julius Schwartz reinvented Green Lantern as science fiction hero Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan's powers were more or less the same as Alan Scott's, but otherwise this character was a completely different than the Green Lantern character of the 1940s. He had a new name, a redesigned costume, and a rewritten origin story. Hal Jordan received his ring from a dying alien and was commissioned as an officer of the Green Lantern Corps, an interstellar law enforcement agency overseen by the Guardians of the Universe. Hal Jordan was introduced in Showcase number 22, issue number 22, September-October of 1959. Gil Kane and Sid Green were the art team, most notable, along with writer John Broome. And his initial physical appearance, according to Kane, was patterned after his one-time neighbor, actor Paul Newman. That's great. I like that. And so it goes. Yeah, the Green Lantern, and it keeps going and going. But I wanted to talk about where the show's going. So we've already talked about supplies. We talked about the importance of supporting our local comic book shops, and we need to show up and we need to buy things, and not just magazines, and enjoying the comic book shop style conversations while we're there. If we're lucky, there's a few people there. You'd be like, hey, what's in your stack? What you got, man? Come on, man, you can show me. And you're like, here, we got the same one. That happens a lot, huh? And but why I'm going from long boxes to the short box, okay? We're getting older. Time marches on. Only the superheroes remain, relatively ageless, or around the, And okay, here we go. This is one of my long boxes. This is a DC Comics long box. It's pretty much alphabetical. It's pretty much full. As I wrote here, it contains a lot of DC Comics. I brought it upstairs, and I also thought, hey, I wonder how much this weighs. Wow, yeah, this is this is one of 9.5, and so I got the idea that you should weigh this. Well, these things get pretty darn heavy. And especially the older we get. That's what I'm saying, time marches on. A lot of these books in here are over 20 years old. And so it's just, and all this accumulation and each one weighs, they're full, they probably pretty much weigh the same, you know? So I got the idea, no, just step on your bathroom scale, wait till it, stops blinking, and then pick up your long box and step on it. So now I know I need to go back on a diet. That's, the good part. But the bad part, I guess, would be this full long box of old comics weighs about 50 pounds. No lie. I mean, so if you've ever been to a comic book convention, I want you to have some, I can't make any demands on you, I'm sorry, but just perhaps we should generate and cultivate some compassion for the vendors, and especially the comic book people selling their back issues that have all of these huge long boxes to tote. These is literally 50 pounds. Wow. So I'm going to break this up into a smaller burden. And that's a good, I guess, for anyone to find out about, any time in life, like the White Stripe song, if you like the squirrel, if you like the squirrel. Oh, I got a lot of Green Lantern in here. A lot. Especially of 1 year later. Between when I came back in 2001, the first thing I bought was Green Lantern. I was on a hiatus between, say, Onslaught and the X-Men. That's where I got off the boat, and I came back for Morrison's New X-Men and Judd Winnick and Darryl Banks's Green Lantern at the time, and that was the Kyle Rayner years. And I really, really enjoyed it. Because every issue was like, every issue should be a jump-on spot for a new reader. I wonder if I still have that issue. I might not. Okay, because it's been like, you get them, it's just like things go different, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. But I know what I've had for years is some of these Green Lantern trade paperbacks for about 20 years. These are really good stories. I love the art. I love these years. I love the Kyle Rayner years. I'm not into bashing Kyle Rayner. That's not my thing. I'd rather enjoy. I quite enjoyed it. You know what I mean? This is great. This is some crossover goodness. Green Lantern versus Aliens. I mean, this is Dark Horse had the Aliens license before Marvel bought it recently, and Dark Horse made some really good Aliens comic books. So this is like two tales, a Hal Jordan set era and a Kyle Rayner set era, because they're space cops. What if they ran into a xenomorph? Great use of this is great use of action figures. That's a good way to put it. You know what I mean? This is playing. You have all these toys from all these different properties in your toy box. Of course they're gonna fight. This is gonna, this is a good use of that mentality. And here we go. Some of the later ones too. This is great. This is starting to get into the when I got back into it. Darryl Banks. Mark Bright, and Dale Eaglesham. These are great pencilers and artists. This is the Judd Winnick years, and these are some really good superhero stories. He writes some good superhero tales. And I'm looking specifically. Oh boy, yeah. Some of one of these has. Hey, here we go. I brought this up yesterday. How old is Superman? How old is Batman? Canonically. All right, so let's do two things first. Let's read the indicia. All right, it's going to carry the same kind of indicia as its floppies. It's going to list. See, its indicia is just a little different. I guess it's the first time we've ever looked at the indicia of a trade paperback. The trade paperback is the collection of about, say, 4 to 6 to 12 issues of what we call a run, or not a run. I'm sorry, that's different. An arc. A run would be like Chris Claremont's years on X-Men, on Uncanny X-Men. Something like that. Or Walt Simonson's run on Thor. Annie Nocenti's run on Daredevil. That's... So yeah, that's everything we need to know about this comic book. So this is 20 years old now. All right. Since then, we've had the Infinite Crisis, the Final Crisis. We've had Metal, we've had Death Metal. We've had Doomsday Clock. We've had Rebirth. We've had Flashpoint. We've had and Dark Crisis. I mean, you get what are you picking up what I'm putting down? But let's get back to it. Okay, so that's the Indicia. Here, this is. I love this kind of stuff, and this is why, being a fan is a great thing. Look, it's a Green Lantern timeline. This is this is codified canon. This is lore. This is shit printed down that you can refer to and be like, no, over here. Listen, and you can. This is where the joy of chapter versing somebody. Who cares if I don't know the Bible? I know that Batman's first appearance was in Detective Comics number 27 in 1939. Stuff like that. Now apply your specific, property or fandom onto that kind of love of lore, and you know what I mean. And screw the gatekeeping aspect of it. You know what I mean? It's not about that. But look, yeah. 37 years ago, a Kryptonian baby as their own newborn. 37 years ago, Jonathan and Martha Kent leave and Snowden at the farm for months, long enough to pass off a Kryptonian baby as their newborn son. How old is Superman in this? Is he that old now? Yes. I mean, there's a convoluted comic book story behind that, too. But, and then it goes on for, it covers just the recent quote-unquote history. We have Alan Scott involved. How did we get the Golden Age Warriors in here, too? That's covered as well, too. And then we've got visors, lanterns, and rings. Ain't that cool? Awesome. I love this. So, yeah, I mean, and what to do with this? Look at this. I've got Green Lantern Rebirth right here. Direct sales, number 1. This is a $2.95. $2.95 back in the day, yeah. When did this come out? This has a cover date. Oh, this is 5. This is April of 2005. Yeah, I got the, I gotta, redo. Look at this Alex Ross cover. This is Green Lantern number 1, and this went for $3.50. Cover dated of July of 2005. Indeed. I also got the Jose Pachenko one too. Pacheco, sorry. Carlos Pacheco, rather. Sorry. Hello. Awesome. Yeah. So this is getting broken down into 3 short boxes, and we're going to be rebagging, reboxing, and reboarding all of these, and we're going to look up how much they cost and figure out also their relative grade. We're going to use this book. I'm reading this book. It's a lot of great information. I love learning a lot about this comic. You can find a link to this in the description and get your own copy. This is really, really informative. This is like a big suggestion from me to you. All right, well, we've been talking about comic books, and guess what? We're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. So tune in tomorrow, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, and we'll find out who we're talking about when we turn the page tomorrow. Please like and subscribe. Tell a friend. Bring a friend to our coffee table. I mean, there's plenty of room for everyone. We want to turn you on to reading a comic book if you're a new viewer. But also stay. We're curating a nice little community here. So cheers. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. And we will see you again tomorrow in those funny pages. Ciao. Bye-bye.